Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a load bollocks about tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about a game that is now, how old is it? I ain't got a clue. Hang on. It doesn't tell you, but I think it's about 10 or 12 years old. We're going to be talking about the Spaceship Simulator Galaxy Trucker. And in this game, you will be creating your spaceship, loading it with crew and parts. You'll be flying around the galaxy, trying to avoid all sorts of obstacles and hazards to get the most credits that will allow you to win the game. So in this video, we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, telling you what we do like, what we don't like. And we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Galaxy Trucker is worth your time and bother today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button, all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you after this. Bollocks. So, Galaxy Trucker, how'd you play this game? So Galaxy Trucker is a spaceship building, space exploration simulator, loosely, right? The game consists of two different phases. You can have the spaceship building phase, the construction phase, and then you'll have the exploration phase, right? Each player is going to get a blueprint of their spaceship. This is basically just a bunch of squares where you'll be placing components, and you'll dump all the tiles face down in the center of the table within reach of all players, right? So when you're ready, one player will say go, and then you will grab components from the center of the table, and then you will place them in your ship. There's a few rules everybody forgets. You can't look at the tile until it is over your player board, which nobody ever does. You can only use one hand, right? I usually use one hand most of the time. Sometimes I use two. And once you place the components, you can't move them around, right? So if you see anyone do this, then you're just going to have to give them a big dick to that. There's loads of different types of components, all of which are critical to your success in the exploration phase, right? You've got engines that will allow you to fly through space faster. You've got shields that are going to protect you from asteroids out in space. You've got cannons which will allow you to blast through different enemies and obviously the asteroids. There's batteries that you will need to power all of your stuff. You haven't got enough batteries, you're going to be royally fucked, right? And you've got different types of connectors that are going to connect all of your bits and bobbins, right? There's three different types of connectors. You've got single connectors, you've got double connectors, and you've got universal connectors. Universal connectors can connect to any connector, and single and double connectors can only connect to single and double connectors. I think I've got that right. Might be wrong. Maybe that's why I keep losing at this fucking game, right? There's also crew that you can place in your ship. You're going to need crew to do well in the missions, and there's also aliens that you can bribe on board, and they will give you different special ability depending on what type of aliens you got, right? So once you are done filling your ship with shit, then you will grab the number 1 token and you'll flip the timer. Then everyone else will be under pressure to finish their ship. You don't want to be last finishing your ship, right? Once everyone's done finishing their ship, you will check for irregularities. You'll see whether or not all of your connectors are correct and whether or not your engines are placed correctly, because they've got to face towards the rear of the ship. And if you make a mistake, then A, you're a complete and utter fucktard, and B, you're going to have to rectify your ship, and that might mean that you're going to wreck other parts of your ship in the process, yeah? So once you've done that, you'll move on to the exploration phase. You'll have a deck of cards that you will build before the game, and you'll reveal the first card and you will resolve it. There's different types of hazards that you've got to overcome. You might have to deal with meteors, in which case you'll have to roll a couple of die and see which direction the meteor is going to come from, and you'll have to have cannons facing that direction or shields facing that direction to get away with it, yeah? You might have open space, in which case you'll announce the strength of your engines, and then you'll move your little marker on the main board that many spaces forward, yeah? You might have an abandoned ship or an abandoned station, in which case you'll have to lose your crew to get the benefits on the card. There might be smugglers, slavers, or pirates, yeah? You'll have to count the number of cannons. If it's equal to or greater than what's on the card, you'll get a reward, but you'll lose flight days, right? And it will also annoy the people that don't like to see anything to do with slavery in board games, yeah? There's a few other ones I can't be asked to talk about, but you're going to continue cycling through your deck until you have run out, and then you'll do a bit of cleanup at the journey's end. You'll get your rewards and penalties, and then you will select the level 2 blueprint, and you'll do it again. And when you've finished that round, you'll select the level 3 blueprint, which is a lot bigger than the 1 or 2 blueprint. You'll do it again, and at the end of the 3rd round, you'll top up all of your money, and the player with the most cosmic credits will be the winner of Galaxy Trucker. What do we like about Galaxy Trucker? So the first thing that we really like about Galaxy Trucker is this game provides you with an unadulterated sense of chaos. Not only is there a mad scramble and a mad dash for the most lucrative component tiles in the center of the table, because there's going to be a limited amount of guns, limited amount of double engines which you're going to need, and there's also going to be a mad sense of chaos watching your ship fall apart when you haven't placed your laser cannons in the correct place. Yeah, I mean, nobody else is to blame, right? Because you put them there. That makes you the fucking idiot, not the game, right? So yeah, it's absolutely crazy. If you like games like Cosmic Encounter and these completely unbalanced, wildly manic, crazy games, then Galaxy Trucker is really, really going to tickle your ball bag. So the second thing that we really like about Galaxy Trucker is the way that the game scales really well as you progress through the game. I'm not talking about scales at player count and all that. I'm talking about the way the game scales up in terms of the way the ships get bigger. Yeah, it's almost like the game holds your hand in round one, then it says don't make the same mistake twice in the second round, and then in the third round it tells you to go absolutely fucking apeshit. Yeah, and where you are under a sort of semi-timer, the fact that the ship gets bigger gives you more scope to make mistakes. Yeah, you've already been given 2 sort of practice rounds before, so if you fuck up in the third round, that's on you, right? So it's nice that the game doesn't stay with sort of one ship. It actually allows you to hang yourself in the final round. Yeah, so the third thing that we really like about Galaxy Trucker is it's really funny watching your opponent's ships fall apart, right? It's funny until your ships start to fall apart, and then the joke's on you. You might be trundling through the galaxy thinking, well, fuck me, I disposed of those pirates with ease, right? And then you come across a bunch of slavers and you didn't make preparations for that. So then you end up with egg on your face and your pants down by your ankles, yeah? I mean, this game's so batshit crazy, yeah? It's not one of them games where you're going to be sort of pissed off about the fact that you screwed up. It's almost like you really sort of want the game to fuck you over, because then it makes it even more funny than it actually is. So, you know, if you ended up tap dancing through this game and there wasn't any kind of adverse effects of the cards messing you up, then the game would be pretty fucking boring, wouldn't it? So don't we like that Galaxy Trucker? So the first thing that we don't like about Galaxy Trucker is the rulebook is really quite a bit of a ball ache for me. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like Varda Shvatal thought that the comedic value and comedic content was more important than actually explaining the fucking rules, yeah? In fact, I don't even bother reading the rulebook now. I just go to Paul Grogan's Gaming Rules tutorial, where he explains the game in different segments whilst maintaining the comedy value of the original rulebook, yeah? So don't even bother reading the rulebook. If you do get Galaxy Trucker, whether it's the old version like we got or the new version, then that is the best place to learn the rules, yeah? But yeah, we like the fact that it's quite funny, but then, you know, when you're trying to learn a game and it's interspersed with these sort of quite lame gags, really, then it does become a bit of a pain in the arse, yeah? I just want to learn the fucking game, yeah? And maybe leave the comedy to a professional like me. So the second thing we don't like about Galaxy Trucker is the random fucking die rolls fuck the game up. When you pull an asteroid card out the deck and you roll on a die and it hits your starboard side, then there's not really any way you could plan for that other than just having as many shields and as many lasers as you possibly can. And then if part of your ship gets damaged and it messes up the equilibrium of your connectors, then the other side of your ship can end up breaking up and falling off. So there's not really any way to mitigate the random die rolls of the hazards and events other than just wrapping your ship up in a laser gun load of cotton wool. And because there's limited components, you can't really do that, yeah? It's a pain in the arse. So the final thing we don't like about this game is that checking for all the irregularities after you've placed your tiles is a massive pain in the arse. I mean, you've literally got to go around manually and go, that goes there, that's all right, that's all right, that's all right, that's all right. When you're counting all the different components for different reasons, you've got to go around and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on a minute, did I count that one over there? Oh, fucking hell, where was I? Have I counted this one? And everyone's going, I don't fucking know. It's your fucking ship, prick. So yeah, there's no real way to sort of track what's in your ship. Maybe there could have been a thing where you get a few little markers telling you what the strength was and all this, so you could just adjust it on the fly. But as it stands, in the old version at least, I don't know about the new version, it ain't there. So be prepared to be frustrated. So to summarise, is Galaxy Trucker still worth your time and bother? Is it a decade after its first release? So we're going to say, yeah, I quite like Galaxy Trucker. It is a really, really dumb game, yeah, but it does turn out to be quite fun in moderation. It's like the anal of board games, yeah. It's fun for the first time, but if you do it too much, it becomes a relatively pointless exercise and is always a painful experience for at least one party. The chaos of both the grab phase and the exploration phase throws up some memorable moments, but this ultimately makes the game unfair and kind of random, which is probably the point of it all, isn't it? Having said that, Galaxy Trucker is a unique and crazy ride that you should try at least twice in your life. Bit like anal. Not that I'd know anything about that, honestly. Not honestly. So there you go, that is Galaxy Trucker. Remember, if you are newer, consider subscribing to this channel. Hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you next time.